Keats fell by a criticism. Who was it died of the Andromache? Ignoble souls. De L'Omelette perished of an ortolan. The story of it is short. Assist me, spirit of Apicius. A golden cage bore a little winged wanderer enamored, melting, indolent, to the Chasse de Andin, from its home in far Peru, from its queenly possessor, La Bellissima, to the Duc de L'Omelette. 6 peers of the empire conveyed the happy bird. That night the Duke was to sup alone. In the privacy of his bureau, he reclined languidly on that ottoman from which he sacrificed his loyalty in outbidding his king, the notorious ottoman of Cadet. He buries his face in the pillow. The clock strikes. Unable to restrain his feelings, his grace swallows an olive. At this moment, the door gently opens to the sound of soft music, and lo, the most delicate of birds is before the most enamored of men. But what inexpressible dismay now overshadows the countenance of the Duke? Horror. Dog. Baptiste. The bird, good God, this simple bird whose feathers you have removed and which you have served without paper frills. It is superfluous to say more. The Duke expired in a paroxysm of disgust. Ha ha ha, says his grace on the 3rd day after his decease. He, replied the devil faintly, drawing himself up with an air of hauteur. Why, surely you are not serious, retorted Duc de L'Omelette. I have sinned. Save rye, but my good sir, consider you have no actual intention of putting such barbarous threats in execution. No. What? Said his majesty. Come, sir, strip. Strip indeed, very pretty, faith. No, sir, I shall not strip. Who are you, pray, that I, Duc de L'Omelette, Prince de Fourgras, come of age, author of the Mazurkiad, and member of the Academy, should divest myself at your bidding of the sweetest pantaloons ever made by Bourdon, the daintiest robe de chambre ever put together by Rombert, to say nothing of the taking of my hair out of paper, not to mention the trouble I have in drawing off my gloves. Who am I? Ah, true. I am Beelzebub, Prince of the Fly. I took thee, just now, from a rosewood coffin inlaid with ivory. Thou wast curiously scented, and labelled at purring voice. Belial sent thee, my inspector of cemeteries. The pantaloons which thou sayest were made by Bourdon are an excellent pair of linen drawers, and thy robe de chambre is a shroud of no scanty dimensions. Sir, replied the Duke, I am not to be insulted with impunity. Sir, I shall take the earliest opportunity of avenging this insult. Sir, you shall hear from me. In the meantime, au revoir. And the Duke was bowing himself out of the satanic presence when he was interrupted and brought back by a gentleman in waiting. Hereupon his Grace rubbed his eyes, yawned, shrugged his shoulders, reflected. Having been satisfied with his identity, he took a bird's-eye view of his whereabouts. The apartment was superb. Even Duc de L'Omelette pronounced it. The way it should be. It was not its length nor its breadth, but its height. Ah, that was appalling. There was no ceiling. Certainly none, but a dense whirling mass of fiery colored clouds. His Grace's brain reeled as he glanced upward. From above hung a chain of an unknown blood-red metal, its upper end lost like the city of Boston among the clouds. From its nether extremity swung a large crescent. The Duke knew it to be ruby, but from there it poured a light so intense, so still, so terrible. Persia never worshipped such. Geber never imagined such. Mussulman never dreamed of such when, drugged with opium, he has tottered to a bed of poppies, his back to the flowers and his face to the god Apollo. The Duke muttered a slight oath, decidedly approbatory. The corners of the room were rounded into niches. 3 of these were filled with statues of gigantic proportions. Their beauty was Grecian, their deformity Egyptian, their tout ensemble French. In the 4th niche, the statue was veiled. It was not colossal, but there was a taper ankle, a sandaled foot. De L'Omelette pressed his hand upon his heart, closed his eyes, raised them, and caught his satanic majesty in a blush. But the paintings, Cupris, Astarte, Astoreth, 1,000 in the same, and Raphael has beheld them. Yes, Raphael has been here, for he did not paint the... Was he not consequently damned? The paintings, oh luxury, oh love, who gazing on these forbidden beauties shall have eyes for the dainty devices of the golden frames that besprinkled like stars the hyacinth in the porphyry walls?